we probably need to get you one of these.
What I want?
These stand things. I Joe again. See if
I
I'll
could pull it
buy
closer.
some of 'em. You can't. That's the final thing.
No, this. I could pull it a little bit closer.
I can't take the risk of it possibly falling forward. But you're gonna need one of these. Or I'll bring out the boom thing again. Boom arm, and then you take this one.
But it's hard, the boom arm. Remember with the table?
I
It's not
had
a flat underneath.
I had it when I was doing the show by myself.
Oh, okay.
So I could bring
Might be.
that back, leave that here. You could take this and put it, and then that maybe we could use for a guest when we have in the studio for the middle part. Because you
Instead
know
of
how we
hanging it
have to
over.
hang it over.
Ugh,
You know,
this shit is heavy as hell. So imagine bringing it
yeah,
back
in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
Figure
Smart.
something out. But yeah, that we're gonna change that. I think you need to be closer. But you know, we're not gonna do it now. We already started. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's the final 2 episodes left. Um, episode 199. But before we get into that, y'all know y'all fiends and y'all know what that means. We're serving you your dose weekly discipline therapy where not everything is completely free. As we're on Patreon for a plethora of exclusive content for you to see, but what is free is judgment free, sucker free, censor free, sensitive free, and plenty of liberty. God and the ancient ancestors are great, and that means everything else is straight. So go grab your wine, popcorn, and my favorite roll of blunt. But make sure the children are in bed. Why? Because we have that soul food and sometimes vocal conversation. Prepare your mind to be fed like one up, inhale life and exhale strife. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are tuned into the Discipline Debbie podcast. We're here.
Also,
Right.
can I just bring the little thingy?
Mm.
Okay. Just to clear the energy, bring some good energy in, take negative energy out. Okay. Nice. There are links in the description below how to become part of our Patreon family and subscribe for exclusive content, bloopers, behind the scenes, Mr. Yale Discipline solo lecture of discipline therapy talk, his BDSM content, erotica posts, and writings by Mr. Discipline. We also upload his masterclass and full workshops on there. There are some collaboration shows pertaining to more sensitive topics such as sexual abuse, rape, domestic violence, transgender, children abductions, conspiracy theories, government conspiracy theories, and much more with myself and EL Discipline. Once again, how to become part of our Patreon family, you go to patreon.com/the Discipline Therapy Podcast. Mr. EL Discipline also has 7 published books that are available for purchase. We have them on Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com. We have them for electronic versions as well for Kindle and the Nook. Once again, all the links are in the description below. For our online store for merch, go to disciplinetherapy.launchcart.store/shop. We try to have new gear every month, so you want to go check that out. And last but not least, we are on all major listening platforms such as Spotify, Apple iTunes, Deezer, Castbox, Overcast, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and much, much more. All right, so now we're going to jump into the topic. Episode 199. Do you believe men don't value their women today because they don't believe he's her own one and only due to social spaces? I read this and I wrote my answer out, but what do you mean social spaces as in social, like where they work and stuff, or
Yeah, social spaces.
like
Where?
bars and clubs? Work? Okay.
Social media.
Okay. That's what I thought. So I think if a man doesn't value his woman because he doesn't believe he's her one and only, then why is he still with her? And that's actually across the board. But since we're talking about the men, like if he has doubts or he has to wonder um, whether he's his significant other's one and only, um, then I personally believe there's no reason to stay. Like if it's gonna constantly be on his mind, like is she entertaining someone else when she's at work or anything like that, then I think the only options that I see is either try to work things out and see, get to the issue, of the matter, or leave, because you know one of my big things is peace of mind. And if you don't have that in your relationship, then that just is like a melting pot for a lot of other problems to occur.
What you're doing is educating people, but if we're talking about guys here, what you're doing is educating the guys. Gen Z, Gen Z guys, right? They don't understand this. Some of them grew up without fathers, so fathers weren't there to teach them, right? They don't understand this. Even though they feel it in their gut because of ancestry. So regardless of their father not being around, ancestry. Like men will always be traditional. It's the women that ran away from it due to feminism. All this money they got, education, the woman is inclined to following. So with everybody, feminism, male feminist, female feminist, society telling women how to be, you can be anything, do what a man can do, and all of that nature, they're falling into the trap and doing that. Men, on the other hand, are still stubborn, whether they're beta, sims, alpha, dominant, whatever you want to say. They all have the same mindset. Some of them are more vocal with it, and others are more private with it. They just retain that in their mindset. We all want the same thing. It's just some of us will actually go into a potential dynamic and state laws and be like, this is how I want my women to behave. This is the type of women I date, rules, whatever. Other guys think about the same thing, but they don't have the confidence to articulate that. So what you're doing is you're educating Gen Z, because I only see this behavior from Gen Z. So now that I got that out the way, it's easier said than done, because it's easy to project. And I'm not picking on you.
No, I know. I
I'm
have
just saying
experience
it's
also under
easy
my
to
belt.
project. So we could tell them to leave them at the end of the day. They're not. I think the only way that maybe a Gen Z would take that upon themselves to be like, I'm leaving, is if that um significant other violated to the highest level of their boundaries, even if they don't know what boundaries are. So let's say there's a Gen Z out there who has maybe not all their principles, because it's hard for them to have old school values like be people of their word. Like a lot of the young dudes don't know what that is. To have certain principles, discipline, and whatnot, to be strict on their code. They don't have that. They don't know what those terms are. But if there's something that they value that opposing person will do, that might make them leave. Us saying them to leave is not, because they're gonna go through certain things, makeup, sex, drugs, whatever, get back together. They're gonna do something. Oh, I'm sorry, buy them a bag. The guy's gonna buy him a bag. The woman's gonna probably buy him something. Like whatever it is happens. The way is, let's say, I'm gonna give more context to make people understand. Let's say the Gen Z guy values family. He's family oriented. The woman who's, we're gonna say, toxic, because this is a scenario of we're trying to get him to leave her. She violates his mom, violates sister, whatever it is. They went to an event. He invited her, whatever it is. Maybe the family knows that person. They violated the sister, mother, whatever. Disrespected the family. At that point, he, remember, we bring it back. He's family oriented. That's a big thing for him. He may not know all these other principles and he has discipline, self control. He doesn't have all those things. He's not aware of it. But the family is important for him. And that potential wifey, whatever it is, violates that. That might make them take it upon themselves to leave. Because remember, people are going to make their own decisions. We could say, look, girl, it's wrong for you to be with that guy. He abused you significantly, to the highest level, 5 times. There's a sixth time. You're still taking it back. It's going to come down to her. It's going to come down to him, and maybe they might never leave them, which in direct
Yeah.
conclusion is leading to them being masochists. Masochist emotionally, masochist maybe physically if they're getting abused. Maybe the guy gets abused by the woman. It's not common, but you know, it's a handful, but
Mm-hmm.
they go through it,
That's
right?
true.
They're still there, so that they're like, I feel like anybody, right, man or woman, even though we're talking about women today, but man or woman, anybody who is constantly going through disrespect and remains there loves it. That is a term called masochist. Masochists in BDSM, they love humiliation. They get turned on by degradation. They get turned on by disrespect. You understand what I'm saying? So when you are with somebody that you supposedly love and vice versa, you know, if you are with them and they're constantly disrespecting you and you know that you are identifying that is disrespect to the highest level and you continue to stay there, you continue to be present there, you are a masochist. You love it even if it's not conscious. That's what it is. That's what makes you a masochist.
Experience plays a big part in that, and knowing what your limits are, knowing what you would allow. And if we're talking about Gen Z, you said X, Y?
Gen Z, XY.
I don't even know these terms anymore.
We
A
could
lot
say
of them are
modern
young.
modern guys.
Okay, young modern guys. They might not know what they will or will not allow, because a lot of the times I'm gonna assume this might be they might not again have that experience with women. Maybe this is his only his second girlfriend, and the first one was like a quick one or something like that.
I
Hold on,
disagree.
hold on. I know. I also disagree that if someone stays in that in any abusive relationship, it's they like it. I think they just don't. If they're young, then they don't know how to get out of it. They don't know what to do. Like I said, experience plays a lot, and if they're inexperienced with their emotion or with how to handle a situation like that, they're gonna be inexperienced with how to know how to get out of it. Doesn't necessarily mean that they enjoy it.
Gen Z, Gen Z, um, like teens, maybe like 15 to 28, 30. So 15 to 30, Gen Z. Look it
That's how
up.
big it is.
Look it up.
That's true.
Gen Z, 15 to 30, I believe it is. So think about it, right? Let's say they're dating at high school, because that's high school, kind of like high school to college and out of college, right? If
13 to 28.
Okay,
Damn, that's big.
okay, I was close.
Yeah, you were
So
close.
I'm just rounding it. 15 to 30, Gen Z. So let's say they're dating 17 years old. Okay, part of what you're saying is right, only in a sense of them not understanding in the spiritual aspect, boundaries, consciousness, uh, uh, how energy works, intuition. But they're, I believe, like, if they're like 17 up, especially like in the 25 range, 25 years old and stuff, they're adults to know they wake up in the morning, how to take a shower, brush their teeth. Some of them know how to cook already by that age. So, yo, their brain is like developed. Maybe not to the
Yeah,
highest
completely.
level, but their brain is developed to the point where they know what they like and what they don't like. You know what I'm saying? The nigga know he like video games and shit like that and how to manage on stuff. He's gonna
That's
know.
different though than how
No, no, no,
they
no, no.
treat it.
I'm trying to make a point. His brain is developed to know where his dopamine lies or not. So you gotta understand that if he's with the woman and she's disrespecting him and he knows it doesn't make him feel good, him staying there can be a multitude of reasons. Um, he might be a good looking guy and be able to get with other women and stuff like that. Maybe he's not. And, that could play a factor of him saying, oh, well, what's out there? Like, I don't have the confidence enough to be able to get anything better or start all over. He has like a feminine mentality. Now, or he does, right? And he has a roster too. He's not telling her about, so she don't even know he's cheating on her.
Sure.
She don't even know that, but he's keeping her still.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Um, so like all of these things could play a factor pertaining to subjectively that individual. You know what I'm saying? You got to get into their mind. You got to talk to them. You got to get them to articulate why are they still there if they're being constantly disrespected. Because I know that
That's true.
respect, especially for your significant other, counterpart, for a man, we're talking about heterosexual relationships, man and woman, respect is a man's love language. Don't matter the age. Like we all could be different lifestyles. I named different types of dudes: dominants, alphas, simps, betas. I named them all. But at the end of the day, we all want the same thing in the common denominator pertaining to women or our women: respect.
But
So
simps don't get respect.
they don't, but they want it.
Then wouldn't they not
They
be
want it
simps?
too. So I named many different scenarios with different people of why they would still tolerate that. They the Simps or the masochists, they want respect. But but to be with those type of women, in their mind, they're thinking of I gotta give something.
Mm.
So I gotta give up maybe my self-respect. But for that, it won't happen too long. It's like the woman who is at ease with getting physically abused. Oh, it's about to happen again. The bruises will heal. Tomorrow he'll beat on me today. Tomorrow will be better. That's sad for her to think like that. But the simps, I'm putting it in the realm for you to understand in the women's realm how the simps are thinking about it, because it's the same thing. Y'all both getting abused, but in a different fashion. So the simps are just thinking, like, I'm gonna give you an example. Yo, bro, like your girl's online, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, yo, she online, her booty and everything. Yeah, you know, I don't like it, but like, you know, I'm getting it tonight. Like, I'm getting pussy. Like, she's hot, right? Like, you could look at her, but you can't touch. She's hot, right? Like, he's always putting a silver lining, but to the disrespect. Like,
Mm.
bro, you know you don't like that. Like, you'd be okay if I was able to get her and fuck her and you knew about it. Nah,
Mm.
nah, nah. Don't take it to that level. But what are you doing? Like, that's that's close to it. That's borderline. Like, all these dudes in the comments, she's replying to them. She's flirting in the comments. Like, you're cool with that too? Like, what's going on here? Those dudes, they just online. I'm the one that she come home every night. That's sad for
Mm.
a man to think like that. Simp
Yeah.
mentality, right? He knows too that he can't go in there and boss shit because she probably makes as much money as him. And on top of that, she looks good. So he doesn't have the confidence enough to be able to be like, no, I can't go in and run things and do things because she got power too. Because he's looking at power in a most superficial aspect,
Mm.
which I don't believe is true. I don't believe money equates to power, and I don't believe beauty equates to power. They can, but it depends who you're influencing. You know what I'm saying? The person who has the most influence has the most power. Cause
Mm-hmm. That's
I'm
true.
running my fifth book with when Dom was closing the deal with Maria and Miguel. He obviously is gonna pay for the villa, but she sweet talked him. So now I'm looking at it. Oh, Dom is as I'm narrating it. Oh, he gotta woo her too. It's a two deal
Mm.
because he's only gonna buy if she's cool with it too because she's the one that got the most influence, but he got the most money
Mm-hmm.
and status.
That makes sense.
So even in that regard, when you're looking at it, the simp is like could even be in that regard too where he has the most money. And then that woman is using her influence for sexual and beauty and able to get him
To spend the
to
money.
do a lot of other things, not just
Mm.
spending the money.
Mm.
You
Like
know what I'm
she's
saying?
like the
Like
puppet master.
allowing her to parade herself out in a disrespectful manner. Like she's out here acting like she's independent and single when she's in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like it has to be this type of podcast too and episode to help them to be able to identify because I think at some point like you like things like you're picking your vices. You're picking what you want dopamine from. You know what's going to make you feel good and what's not going to make you feel good. And if you're coming to that point where the woman is disrespecting you, doing what she wants to do, dressing, whatever, when you know you're not okay with that, or even calling you certain names, degrading you, um, defamation of character, like slander, and you know you don't like that. Like, come on, it's only a weird person. Like I'll reiterate, the masochist is gonna like that. Like the woman is calling him out his name, saying all these things, and he's just laughing at her. Like he's laughing at it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't
Mm.
know a lot of men that's gonna do that. But the men that are having a problem with it, you gotta understand two types of men here. The aggressive guy verbalizes. That's two strikes. You get a third one, you're gone. You don't want to leave, I'm gone. The
I
other
totally thought something different with aggressive guy. I
the
was gonna.
oh the passive aggressive dude is retaining that. He's checking it off in his mind. The woman never knows about it. Oh, she went out dressed like a slut with me, and I told her I didn't want to be seen with her like that. And she arguing. All right, check. I ain't never gonna give her a ring. Check. Oh, whatever. Check. I ain't never bringing her around family, and she ain't never meeting nobody. Check. But she don't know.
Mm.
So
She
she's over
doesn't
here
say.
like dancing around, ha ha ha. I got pretty privilege, ha ha ha. I can do what I want, ha ha ha. I can dress how I want. My man trusts me, da da da. You know, but she's putting in her mind what it is, and in on his part, he's like, ha ha ha, never cuffing you, ha ha ha, never taking you places, ha ha ha, you ain't important, ha ha ha, I'm gonna keep cheating, ha ha ha, you ain't gonna know about it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knows. Well, he does, but at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, he's passive. So what happens here is the topic of them not believing that they're the only ones, so they're not valuing them. Those are the passive guys.
Mm.
Those are the passive guys. You see, I'm gonna give you an example because I'm the only guy here. I'm very vocal, which most men aren't. I'm very vocal. When I love, I'm very vulnerable in a sense of, you know, this is subjective of what I think vulnerable is for a man. Maybe it's emotion like vulnerable is emotional for people, but I don't believe vulnerable is emotional so much for a man. I believe when you're emotional, vulnerable for a man, you're physically protective. You provide safety. You articulate boundaries, laws and standards and stuff like that. If I'm not vulnerable, I'm emotionally unavailable. And if I'm emotionally unavailable, she don't know about rules. She don't
Mm.
even know who I really am. She don't know how I move. I'm just going in there thinking, yo, she just should she just I should just expect that she's aware of how she's gonna please me. I don't
Mm.
need to say shit. That's me being not vulnerable. That's me being emotionally unavailable. But when I'm emotionally available, which I believe most of these guys are like these dominant men, they're coming in and they're going to state these boundaries. They're going to state who they are. That's vulnerability. I'm this type of guy. I'm this through my life, blah, blah, blah. This is the type of woman. That's vulnerability. I'm stating this law, rules, boundary, blah, blah, blah. You're special because you get older. You think those acquaintances on Instagram know my rules?
Mm.
The extent of it, this is vulnerability. Boom, 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 this, that. Boom. I want my women to dress like this when they go out with me. When they're not with me. Boom, boom. Like, stay on. That's vulnerability. Oh, I'm on the side of the traffic. God forbid a drunk driver. He's hitting me first. Vulnerability. So, most of these guys that are going in leading, they're choosing right. So when they state that, it gives the woman two options. She listens to it and says, "Oh yeah, those are not bad or whatever. I'm willing to try this." Or she sees it and she's like, "This is not for me. I like toxic shit, not healthy," and she runs away. The passive guy probably thinks like this. He wants to state all these rules. Society tells him being like that is toxic, so he restricts it. He suppresses it, but he wants it. What I like, he likes too. But he's a little bit more afraid and passive because he's thinking about the possible ramifications, bad ones. So he's thinking it, but he doesn't articulate. So now he's saying, he's like, "Oh, this girl I'm trying to pursue, she got all these guys in her comments, DMs, she dressed this way." Da, da, da. So he will still approach her and date her, but not give his all, not be present there because of all those things. Instead of like, "I like you, I want to pursue you." Well, I don't know if I like you yet. I got to keep getting to know you, but I'm attracted to you and I want to pursue you. But these things bother me. Are you willing to give up this for me to step forward? Because I ain't stepping up until this goes, because my power is providing and protecting. And if the only way I'm able to do that is by you giving your all, submission is very opposites. We get into our power by giving in these regards. So if you are not able to do this, I can't give you part of my divine masculine because I'm giving part of my energy, which could be draining too. So if the guy is not articulating that, but he thinks that, you know what I'm saying? It's his fault.
Yes.
So the reality is, I believe we should value each other. Why are we not? We're not choosing right. So these dudes will get with these women that, I'm not going to call them women, females, that have all these things with them, attached to them, male friends, all these work husbands, flirting, all these things with the work husbands, while they're potentially in relationships, dating this person or whatever it is, or even in it. Like they're officially in a relationship, exclusive. But she still got all these things, oblivious to what it is, but it's bothering him. He's being passive and he can't state that, "Yo, I want these things gone." Because if I say I want these things gone, it's going to be labeled as toxic. I'm going to be a bad guy. I'm not going to look good in her eyes. It's going to be shame. That's not the right thing to do. It's not how you treat your woman. A strong man lets the woman do what she wants, and he should put in his mind that she's gonna be an adult. She's an adult enough to make the right decision.
You're saying
That's
that's
how
how
these
they talk?
simps
That's how
think.
they think?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how the simps think. The betas. So in that regard, by him being like that, it's not gonna allow him to give his full, which is like counterintuitive to his own nature, and that counterintuitiveness is leading to him slowly, metaphorically dying inside. Because it's like, yo, your job is to be able to go in there with the person that you're pursuing as the leader to protect, guide, educate, lead, and provide there, as if you had a child, whether you adopted them or they're biological, doing the same thing. It's the same thing with a woman. It's not equal. So if you're supposed to be doing that as a man because that's God's plan, you know what I'm saying? And you want to do that, but you're like, "Nah, she don't deserve that because I think, to summarize it, she a hoe." That I should have said that from the beginning. She a hoe in my mind. I'll never say that to her, but I believe she a hoe because she got all these things. So because she a hoe, I'm not valuing her. That's what I think it is. So modern dudes, they're obviously not gay, right? Most of them, they're heterosexual, so they want to get with women. But if they see that most of them are whores, and they're like, "But I'm not gonna be single like all my life, like I still want to interact with women," they're not gonna give their all because of that concept in their mind. That's what it is. So I'm trying to urge them Because the dominant masculine men that have God in them, if they're vetting a woman that is hiding the hole, they are going to dissect it to figure it out through questions, vetting, and stuff of that nature. For them to be like, I'm gone because I only provide for what makes me comfortable. Good girls, whatever it is, purity and all that. But if you got the dudes who are not able to do that, this cycle will continue like a revolving door.
Well, I think I agree with everything that you're saying, but the one thing is, I feel if with younger guys, they're not gonna know that. Like they're not gonna know, if
Sue,
to
that's
say
that's my
this
point. That's why I'm here. That's why you're
exactly,
here.
guys,
That's why you're here. That's
right
why we got
there.
stuff like this on. That's what I mean. A lot of people are unaware. How do they become aware and educate themselves? Platforms, material, books, going out there, experiences. We're one of them. We bring value here.
That's
You
true.
believe that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna help them if they're watching us. If like, yo, you were born yesterday, and you could be 25. You were born yesterday because you're figuring out new things today.
Mm-hmm.
We all learning new things. You could learn something new from a 7-year-old about technology.
Ain't that the truth?
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you're right. But it comes down to them identifying, right?
Right, which is what I'm saying. Like, how do they do that without having guidance? You know what I mean? Like that it must be hard
There's
for.
no way for them to able to identify and do it without guidance.
Mm-hmm.
Without, because they're gonna keep going through the disrespect with the toxic chick, and they're not going to be able to identify. They're gonna think, I've been with her the longest, this is the right thing to do, who cares if I get disrespected, I gotta do this. That's what they're gonna think. And maybe the icing on the cake, which is even the most toxic thing, is the female is fucking dishing out that type of rhetoric to him. So now it's like, oh, this is how you're supposed to be. This is what men do. I'm a woman, and da da da. You're insecure if you don't let me post my booty. It's just a booty picture. I'm on vacation. These things. So these little terms is now what's make. Oh well, I don't want to feel bad. I don't want all women to think I'm like this. I want to be the cool guy. I want a lot of women to like me. Shit, if she's telling me this shit, it might make sense. I'm in their brain right now because a lot of them won't talk.
That's true. But I think, and this is from experience on my end, not obviously me, but people, people in my family, if they have a strong family, around them, they might not listen. They might not act on what their family is suggesting, but it's seeping in there. Like I said, it's gonna take, them knowing themselves and or learning to know themselves, and now learning what they're gonna like by having their friends saying, what are you doing, with her? This is the third time she's done it, this is the 10th time she's done it. When are you gonna stop?
I'm glad you added that because I was shaking my head.
I know.
No,
I know.
because most likely family and you are different errors and different age brackets. So I remember when I was younger, my pops would tell me things that I do now because I'm looking back and like, damn, he was right the whole time. But at the time, my late grandmother, my father, my grandfather, no, I ain't listening to you. I'm just yesing you to
What do
death,
you
but
know?
I'm not.
Yeah, you old.
So yes. So now when you're talking about friends, yeah, that part.
Yeah, but
That
okay.
part, because now it's like, yo, my mom said that or my dad said that, but nah, they in the old style. They don't know what style is. Now you got your friends saying the same thing. Now you might consider it because you're in the same age bracket. Y'all probably think the same. There's a reason why y'all are friends. And now you hear multiple people saying it. It's not just coming from your family.
Exactly.
So most of the time, the Gen Z have the friends that have the same mentality as them. So they're gonna be lost too. They're not gonna learn.
That's why I had said when you were speaking. My bad. That they don't have to be of the same age either. Like I have my son who I've talked about him on the show. He's been on the show, and I've told him things. You know, talking to him, giving him in Spanish it's called consejo. What's that called? Advice. And then he has people at his job that he became friendly with that are older than him, that he has a lot of respect for. And they've told him the same thing. He comes back and he was like, you were right. So and so said the same thing. I want to slap him. But still, as long as he's getting that information from somebody who he respects and he looks up to or uh, likes, not likes what they say, but I guess respect, because I can't,
And trust.
the word is not coming to my mind. You know what I mean? Like, and as he gets older, obviously, as these boys get older, their friends might have a different relationship or whatever with their parents, where they might be like, you know what, my dad is right. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody has the same relationship with their parents. He might be friends with somebody who takes what their parents say to heart, and then he can tell him, well, from my experience or my parents experience XYZ, and you're getting another point of view, or another person speaking to that to that kid.
So I'm gonna go back to the aggressive
If that
guy.
makes sense.
You're right, and I identify with what you're saying. Um, I'm gonna go back to the aggressive guy and the passive guy. So both men, believe it or not, and people will, whenever I say this term, they think it's toxic, they think it's abuse, they think it's so bad. But I'm gonna tell you some facts right now. That's gonna make people like scratch their head and think. Both of these type of men, even though they're different types of men, males and men, they're both doing the same thing. You know what that is? You're not, so I'm gonna tell you. Nobody's gonna know. I'm gonna tell you. They're both punishing women.
Interesting.
Do you believe that?
That they're both punishing women. I don't know where the
Okay,
punishment
so
is.
I'm gonna give more context. The aggressive guy is telling you what's in store for you.
If you don't listen.
Yeah.
Okay.
The passive guy isn't. He's retaining that in his mind. Remember, it goes back full circle earlier. Checking off the list in the mind, that's punishment.
So he's gonna punish her quietly.
Yes. So the aggressive guy is like, oh, so you're not gonna take that down, but we're still in a relationship. So you're not gonna take that down. Okay, so I'm withholding this. I know
Whatever
you
this
like.
is.
I
Right.
know you like something. I'm withholding that.
Mhm.
Or not. We're not going. You know what? That trip that I bought, the tickets. Yeah, it's a wrap. I'm getting my refund. Wrestling, boxing, live events. You went to car shows. Yeah, you ain't invited no more. There's that he's punishing, so she knows what's in for her. The passive guy. Oh, you're not gonna take that down? No. Well, I told you you're insecure, jealous of it. He's like, okay. He's being fake with it. In his mind, he's like, yeah, cancel the tickets. Boom, 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 boom. Not giving her that ring, and I was gonna go to the jeweler tomorrow. So she don't know what she just thinks. Oh, I won the argument.
Right.
Oh, he shut up. But both men are punishing women. One guy is more confident and secure and telling you what's in store for you and what's gonna happen, even in the beginning stage before y'all get in a relationship. And then the other guy is like in the beginning, oh, going with the flow, da, da, da. And then when they get into it and he's getting territorial and stuff like that, and he's like, you know, it really bothers me that you do this and all that, the male friends that you got, whatever. Oh no, I'm not cutting them off. I've known them for mad long. Da da da. Doing this with how you dress, I don't really like that. No, I'm an independent woman. I make money. Boom boom boom. Be more of a man. Be secure. You know what I'm saying? Trust me. You don't trust me? Boom, okay. In his mind, he's like, disrespect. In his mind, he's like, I'm not giving her that. In his mind, he's like, shit, I had all these plans for like big things for Valentine's Day. Now I'm just getting her like
Chocolate.
a stuffed animal and whatever it is. She's never gonna know. She's never gonna know because she's with a guy who's not communicating.
So if she's never gonna know, is she really being punished though?
Yeah, because I know that every woman's gonna want those things that I stated eventually.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And here's the biggest thing too is he's probably breaking up with her in his head where it's like, oh, I'm gonna just use her for pussy. She ain't my girl and da da da. And she's thinking, oh, we're together and shit like that.
That's pretty bold of her to think that.
No, it's
Especially.
not. It's not because she's assuming because there's no communication. Remember, he's passive.
Yeah, yeah.
The aggressive guy who's dominant is like, yo, there's not a lot of strikes I'm gonna give you. So you gotta understand that these are my principles and I value these. And these are my boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're crossing those, that means you're disrespecting my boundaries. If you're disrespecting my boundaries, you're disrespecting me. Because this is all part of me. This is my makeup. My
Mm-hmm.
boundaries make up me. So if you disrespecting me, I take that real personally. I'm not keen on that. It's not something like just casual and stuff like that. Like it's you taking that to the extreme. So you got one time to disrespect me before you apologize and do better. You know, you don't got too much strikes. And if it happens again, this will happen. Maybe I'll be gone. Maybe it's gonna be an end. Maybe I'm taking this away. Maybe blah blah blah. Like he's enforcing things. So in a way, it's like, yo, she knows what she's in for.
Mm-hmm.
If she does violate, she's doing that on purpose to see if one, because she's crazy, if he's a man of his word. Let me see if he is gonna punish me. See, that's the crazy woman. Or two,
I think all women are like
two,
that.
she's doing it because she's toxic and she is used to men not implementing these things for her to do, and she's looking at it as, you know, fuck him to tell me that, but she won't say that depending on his character because he's a dominant aggressive man, so the woman will fear him a little bit. So
That's
she
true.
she knows what type of guys to play with and not. So the passive guy, she gonna play with, she gonna disrespect, and she will do that verbally and all of that stuff to him because he ain't checking it and no regard. The dominant aggressive dude won't tolerate it. He's nipping it in the bud immediately. Immediately. I'm not waiting 2 days from now to be like, 2 days ago when you disrespected me, yeah, I didn't like that. She does it the moment, he checks it in the moment. If they're out in public, he's controlled enough, like myself, to, oh, I ain't gonna let people see me sweat here. When we go in private, you're getting reprimanded.
That
Like
makes
I'll
sense.
never, like I'm on your team. I'll never, even if you're wrong, tell you you're wrong in front of other people so they could feel the type of way about you. You need to be above them. You're with me, this and that. But when I take you in private, yo, you wrong. In this and that regard. You know what I'm saying? So, if he's like that, he's moving like that. But maybe he's not. Maybe he's reprimanding her in public too. The moment is. But all I'm saying is these type of guys are not letting it linger. The passive guys, it's gonna bother them. It's gonna let them linger. They might not bring it up ever. They might tell their boys about it. Or if they have a female friend, they might tell her about it. But, the reality is the significant other won't know. So I would say, like, you gotta vet right. But a lot of times, dudes today, they're giving into more of their urges than thinking logically. So they're very emotional.
Not disciplined at all.
Yeah, because it takes logic to be able to do that. So with a lot of these guys, they know right from the bat that it's not what they like. But if they're able to get that attention from that girl that they thought was out of their league, that's the cornerstone for them.
That's their
And
reason
and
to
the
stay.
and the catalyst that is like the motivator for them, yeah, to stay or even pursue her. You know what I'm saying?
What I was gonna say is, I think, especially in the beginning, like where females first meet, guys, I think they all at some point, especially in the beginning, try to test him to see, well, how far is he? Is he what he says he is? Is he gonna punish me? Is he gonna? And then once they know, then they either, like you said, are either um masochist and will keep on doing it, or they're like, oh no, 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 I know what boundary not to cross. But I think all women, all females do that, especially in
Yeah.
the beginning,
Yeah.
just to see how
Mm.
much can I poke this bear before he turns around and claws me.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Definitely. Um.
I I think what makes a man powerful, and part of what makes a man, is discipline.
Mhm.
It is like him incorporating these principles,
I agree.
these values. I think that's part of what makes a man. It's not the entirety
And
of
consistency.
a man,
Mhm.
but it's part of what makes a man. Is his discipline. Because when we look at men, like, I believe, like, real men, I associate that with, like, leadership. I
Mm.
associate that with masculinity. I associate that with God body, God energy, divine. And when you have these type of guys, they are able to establish that merit. They are able to have that status. They are able to have those prestigious titles because it took things to get there and remain consistent with.
Mm.
To you know what I'm
That
saying?
makes sense.
And part of that is discipline. So one of the biggest things to make a man cower, bring him down to his knees metaphorically, is a woman.
Mm.
And the more beautiful she is and uses sexual um talents and advances and stuff like that, um that right there tests a man. It tests him.
Mm.
So you got to understand that when he can remain disciplined and he's still heterosexual, like he's not gay, going
Mhm.
the other way, because the woman could think, damn, he must be gay. Shit, this works all the time with guys. It didn't
Mm.
work with him, he must be
Gotcha.
gay. She's not taking accountability. She don't identify
Mm.
because she's not thinking about him. She's thinking about her and what she's done and what she's able to get away with. She don't know that dude. She never met him.
Mm.
She never met a dom before. This is what I think a dom is. So when she sees that, she's not gonna even identify he's different. She's gonna say he's gay. Yeah,
Or
look at me, I'm
strict.
beautiful, and whatever
Mm.
it is. So when a man is able to do that, um he is not just trustworthy, he's very powerful.
Mm. I agree with that.
He's very powerful. So I think that the problem why those guys won't value those women today, and they because they think they're not the only one in whatever it is because they don't present themselves like, I'm gonna be your only one. I'm gonna make my intentions perfectly clear. You're gonna serve me. You may laugh now, later you gonna be doing it happily. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna have to force you. You know what I'm saying? Words are powerful.
I mean, that's how it should be if you're in a relationship. You know what I
You
mean? Like if
know,
you love each other.
so so most of these dudes are not going in like that.
Mm-mm.
So
Definitely not.
for them, right? The biggest thing is them not identifying, them not knowing themselves. If they know themselves, they value, they build these boundaries, they build these walls. They build these walls. That's the biggest thing. Men have walls too. It's certain women that can that I break it down. Like the man breaks down the woman's walls, but there's certain things I'll break down for you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times dudes don't know themselves to incorporate all these things. Dignity,
Yeah.
self-respect, boundaries,
Self knowledge.
discipline, self-control, self-love, like you said, care. They don't. So that's why, like, when people come in, they just let them run all over them because they don't have this love for themselves. So that's why people don't really love them. Like
I mean,
energy's infectious. We're spirits in flesh. So you could see a confident person and then gravitate to them, and then you could see fake confidence.
mm-hmm.
You could see somebody that loves themselves and don't. They don't have to walk out and do I love myself. You could see it. You know what I'm saying? And you get people that's just gonna naturally love you. You know what I'm saying? Because they see how you love yourself. Even subconsciously. They don't even put it in a context of like I'm conscious or certain situations and whatever it is of that. They just it's just like instinct.
Mm.
They will see that through your actions and they'll love you too. You
I
know?
mean, I feel like you know, men like women, they come from trauma, from you know, a toxic household. Them being like that, that could have been something that they saw in their own household, or with maybe they saw their mom take advantage of, maybe not their dad but a guy, and hear her talk about, I'm gonna get him for money, or he's gonna pay this or whatever. Like, they still come
Mm,
from
I'm I'm glad you said that.
men can still come from that same traumatic experiences as women, and as they get older they might not know how to work on themselves to get out of that. They may not like it, but how they're being treated, but they don't know how to verbalize it until, like we have said before, they reach out and ask for help, or they do it on their own and find a podcast or something like that. But I feel like I don't think anybody, unless they're what's the ones that like the humiliation and all that stuff?
Masochist?
Unless they're true masochists, I don't think anybody would like to be in that sort of predicament. You know what I mean? It's just that the younger they are, they're not going to know. And if they're older, they must have come from some sort of trauma that they still don't know how to get out of.
I'm gonna add to that. And I believe that those guys end up gravitating towards girls that have similar characteristics of their mom. And they do it subconsciously. So for example, if their mom is like aggressive and abusive maybe to the father and whatever, like they witness that, subconsciously they find a toxic, abusive, aggressive girl and then they go through the same abuse. Because if he's seeing his dad is going through it and the dad never checked her, he's just thinking, oh, it's okay. He might not like it, but he just gravitates towards it subconsciously. Like it's just psychology. It's human nature. Like women do the same thing. Father was abusive, you find an abusive guy. Like women do the same thing. It's so
Or
weird.
they turn abusive. That's not gonna happen to me. I'm gonna use him before he even does anything to me. That's what I also think, that men who come from that, if they get with a woman, a female that treats them bad,
It's not common that happens. It happens,
I think that they
but it's
are
not
gonna
common.
have that anger and that rage and not know how to communicate, and they're gonna turn violent
Yeah,
because they're not gonna know how to say it.
that's not common. It's low percentage. It does happen, but it's very rare. Most likely, she finds an aggressive guy because she's finding whatever the father is. That's the first love. The father is the first love for the daughter. The mother is the first
If
love
they
for the
come from a
for the
good,
son. No,
a good place.
regardless. So, based off how your mom was a hoe. You get with hoes. You know what I'm saying? You do it subconsciously. Your
Not if
mom
you
was a
don't like how your mom was.
it doesn't matter. So I'm trying to tell you what people are
It does.
doing
But not everybody's
subconsciously,
the
even if
same.
they don't like it.
Okay.
They're just subconsciously gravitating towards these people. You know what I'm saying? Like my mother served, right? She was very submissive to my dad. She's a lion, Leo sign, right? Um, but she's very submissive to her dad. I've seen them have certain arguments, but I've seen him put his foot down too, and she's, you know, like a kitten. So I've seen it. I've seen it. But when I look at majority of the characteristics of my mom, I'm like, she loved to serve. She loved to cater. She was very submissive. Most of my dating career, I will say, or hit chronicles, have been with submissive traditional women.
But
My
that's different
grandma,
than watching.
my aunt, my mom, all similar. So if I was to get with the opposite, Like, I'm getting with the chicks that are out there, like, booty online and all that. And I'm like, I never seen my aunts, grandma, moms doing that. Never heard about it. Like, if I'm like, do you believe what I'm saying? Like,
I do,
what
but
are the probabilities of me getting with the opposite of what I saw growing up?
okay, but I just want to say this. But seeing your mom be submissive, right, or serving, or just in that feminine role, is different than a man seeing his mother dressing like a whore, bringing men in and out of the crib. That's different.
It's
A
not.
lot of yeah. If you ask men, they'll be like, I hated when my mom. Men who have had that experience, I hated seeing my mom do that.
And
So
then
I'm
she was
gonna choose
still,
the
but
opposite.
she was still domestic in the house. Like, she was out there dressing like a hoe and doing hoe shit, but then coming in the house and being submissive and
No,
catering. You see, that's my point to you. How you listen?
I'm
How
confused.
how you move in society is gonna be how you move in the house too, whether you want to believe it or not. So if a woman is out there dressing provocatively, she doesn't believe that that's a problem. Feminism is intact. She's a hardcore feminist and stuff like that. She's not gonna come home and be submissive to her family and put her king and her husband first. No, you the king. No. We both kings here. That's how she's gonna act. She's gonna act like she runs shit there too. She's gonna be disrespectful. She's gonna be aggressive when she don't get what she wants. She's gonna be dominant there
Okay, so then why would a guy still go out and choose that if that's something that he's hated growing up? Does that make sense?
because he's already seeing how his mom is. So he's just gravitating towards similar characteristics.
But he doesn't like how his mom is. That's what I'm trying to say. He doesn't like it.
I get that. So we're not.
Just
this is a weird argument here. I said that we gravitate towards. Sometimes we gravitate towards things we believe we hate. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes we gravitate towards shit we believe we hate. How come there's more women cheating with married men, and they're the same type of women that'll be like, "Yo, I hate cheaters." Like, the operative word, hate. Meanwhile, you a side chick to one. But you don't think he's cheating because it's you special?
he could be lying to her and not telling her. I just
No,
saw an
no,
article. I
no,
just saw
no.
an article that she didn't. She
No,
was like,
no,
I
no,
didn't
no,
know.
no. Chicks, no. Chicks, no. There's no way. There's no way you living with this woman, and maybe the woman got her own place, and he can't be around a certain time, call a certain time, can't sleep over, can't have you sleep over. You not thinking? What? That's a woman. No way. Woman intuition is higher than men. No, a lot of them know. They be lying and acting like they don't know. The
We've
dick.
had this type of
Pause.
topic before.
Pause. The dick be getting them
Lord, child.
having amnesia, right? That's what they're gonna blame. They're gonna blame the alcohol. They're gonna blame the drugs.
Right, but what I'm saying is that I mean there can be a possibility that the man is lying.
Yeah,
There
but
have
not a
been
lot of good men. Not a lot of good men. Not a lot of males are good at doing that for so long. And
I
you've
mean
seen it. You've seen it,
there's
Sue. This is something we will
but
agree
there's
on.
also men that have multiple
Sue,
families
this is
in
something
different states.
This is something we will agree on. More men get caught than women. So multiple people even have said, but women are better cheaters because they don't get caught. More men
Yes,
get
but they
caught.
don't
So it's
have
not.
multiple like families. You know what I mean? Like they don't. Women don't typically do that.
Yeah, I promise you. Eventually, he gets caught by her. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, eventually they do get caught, but in the meantime, she might not know. Is what I was saying. She might not know because he might be lying in in the beginning, not to even wife her, just to keep her around because ultimately he's either gonna get married to the girl he got or he's already married. And like we've stated before, he's not gonna leave his family for the side piece. So why you know what I mean? Like I'm not saying that a lot of chicks don't know and they still do it. Yes, I believe that there are a lot of females that know and be like, I don't care. It's not, I'm still getting the like the benefits of it. But there are, another side, another statistics that they don't know because they're never going to be in that man's eyes anything more than a side chick. So why tell her? That's all I'm saying.
Mm, yeah, I think they know because I think the woman intuition, she knows she's not saying anything.
She know.
She's keeping quiet, but I think she knows. So
Like J. Cole said, she knows. You like
yeah,
that, right?
yeah. So I think that a lot of times the males are going in today like assuming, and I would tell them, yo, if you gotta assume, don't resume.
Assume what? That the chick is talking to multiple people, or what are they assuming?
Yeah, or a whore or whatever it is, toxic or whatever it is, like and like if you gotta assume, don't resume. Like do not continue.
Well, what
Like
if?
if you gotta assume, don't resume. So just be like, yo, like it's just like if I had a hunch that somebody close to me did something that violated, and it's like, what's the point of asking them? What is the probability, like high probability, that they're gonna tell me the truth?
Mm,
I'm wasting my time. If I have a hunch, then like go off that. Like that can't go away now. So even if they are innocent, like a fragment of them being innocent, go off the hunch, stay away from them. Go off the hunch. Now don't okay, I was being vulnerable with them and telling them shit. Now I'm not gonna tell them shit. You know
okay.
what I'm saying? Like keep them at a distance. Boundaries now that you create. Even if they're innocent, but because you got that hunch, it's like that. If you're gonna assume, right? Like I'm gonna give you an example. You start talking to this woman and maybe she don't have Instagram. So you can't see she's out there like that or whatever it is. Booty online and all these dudes talking to her. So you could tell how she's interacting with you. And maybe I can help the Gen Z. You are texting her. And mind you, she's not in a job where her phone can't be on her or whatever, right? You're texting her and it's happening constantly. She's taking an
A long
immense
time.
amount of time to text you back, right? 5 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, the next day, 2 days later, right? And you guys already talked about like possibly starting something or whatever, going out on dates. Oh, let me know when your schedule is so I could take you out, this, that, right? Um, this has never happened to me because I'm telling you right now, if the shit happened one day, it's gone. It would only last a day. If we already talked on this in the beginning, I got your number, whatever, and I'm texting you, I don't hear from you all day. The next day you hitting me up, you're not getting a reply. Blocked. So it's not happening to me. But I'm just saying, maybe these guys don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
So this girl is taking 5 hours to text. Da, 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 da. Yo, she's not interested in you. That is an indicator that maybe she's a whore, maybe she's doing this, maybe she's doing that, or whatever it is. She's lying that she's interested. Because when a woman shows interest, she could be holding two babies, a phone on her ear. Yo, she gonna make time.
That's true.
She's gonna make time. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how the woman is. She crazy like that. She crazy, bro. She will travel 2 hours, drive to you, an hour. You know what I'm saying? She interested. You don't need to be forcing and stuff like that. If she's interested, she gonna make time. So that's what I'm trying to prove to them. You know what I'm saying? For them to realize that, yo, if she's not doing this stuff from the back, like mind you, the social media would help out a lot. But if she's not doing that from the back, you know what I'm saying, and violating you and how you want to be treated, right? Bounce. Because if you love yourself, yo, that's ultimate disrespect, right? And shouldn't you take it as that? And even if y'all not together, there should be y'all should be working on establishing respect and trust. like working on that, because that's what's gonna be the cornerstone to building a strong relationship. So if damn, I didn't hear from her all day, losing trust, losing trust. Oh, she's kind of disrespecting me by not. I know her phone is on her. Oh, she cut off. Cut heads faster than barbers do. Like she cut off. Like at this point, it's like those dudes should realize, but maybe they do realize. But it's like, oh, she looks so good though. She bad. Look at that fat ass. Da, da, da. So they'll still invest, but he's punishing her in a way. In his mind, he's crossing it off. Only I think the beta simp will do that. Oh, she got a fat ass. She got a pretty face. Da da da. It all matches. Da da da. Nice body. Got a good job. Da da da. This popular on Instagram. He's gonna look at all these other superficial, stupid things to dictate why he want to stay and tolerate the disrespect. The dominant, aggressive, masculine, divine guys, they're cutting you off. You ain't hearing from them. You losing your dream guy, and you didn't even get a chance to know he was a dream guy, because you was dumb. You was dumb. You just thought he was everybody else. So you're gonna treat him like that.
Wait, can I ask you a question? You said that to the guys who assume that girl's a hoe, don't resume.
Don't resume.
Right. If they tell you,
do not.
That's your advice. What if they tell you, I know she's a hoe, but that's what I just want a plaything for now. What would you suggest?
Masochist. He has masochistic tendencies.
No, but what would you tell him? If he's like, I know she's a hoe, but I'm just, it's just for the time being until I meet wifey.
I would tell him a lot of things. I would have a long conversation with him. I would have a long conversation about spirituality, how energy is infectious. I would have a conversation about psychology, the human brain, what you're gonna allow yourself to get used to. I would have because remember you said that he's gonna find the wifey. On. So the wifey's gonna be opposite, right?
I hope so.
I hope so. Let's say he wants it to be opposite. So how that's gonna be hard, right? Because he's getting used to something.
Exactly. That's why I like when you said used to.
So then I'm gonna talk about him about being a man, and I'm gonna talk about him about like when you come into a woman's life, about stepping up and the leadership. So what he's doing is not right. So it's like he's trying to like be equal with her. Then I'm gonna talk about purpose, and then I'm gonna talk about possibly his life being ruined, because it's a big risk bringing a woman into your life. So that's why you gotta vet properly. So the woman that you bring into your life is gonna is gonna add to your legacy. Even if it's not the finish line. The finish line of the legacy is over there. But over here is part of it too. Your chronicles. So that woman's gonna add to that. And most likely, if she's the opposite of what you want to marry, one day she might get you in trouble.
That's the truth.
Because we always hear it. Like every single time you see a man's downfall, there's always a woman involved. Career, whatever, workplace, sexual harassment, all these stupid things, cheating, lost sponsors. Damn, you dropped that $50 million deal because you got with the 20-year-old OnlyFans, getting certain people, black men especially. You know what I'm saying? Like you know how to cover yourself, navigate, get lawyers involved, have us sign contracts before engagement, whatever it is. You know how to protect your assets. Like, yo, you in a top prominent position. You got to have other people protecting you too and advising you certain things. These are the things that I would talk to him about if he wanted to do that. But I believe I would make a change, because most likely I don't look like a nerd. I might be in the same age bracket. I'll talk his lingo. I'm not gonna spit Harvard grad vernacular to him. I'm gonna dumb it down. I'm gonna layman's terms. He's gonna understand where I'm coming from. He's gonna resonate. He's gonna build respect and trust, and maybe he's gonna see what I'm talking about. And the only way he's gonna change is if one or two things happen. His group of friends is telling him the same thing, or he hits the brick wall.
Oh, rock bottom. I wrote that down too in my notes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
most of the time. That's how people
get
over it. They hit that rock bottom.
Because then once they hit that rock bottom, they remember, damn, that guy told me that.
Yeah.
So I think those are one of the two things that happen. That's what I would tell him. But it would be a long conversation. Long
Yeah.
conversation. And I know exactly how it would go. They would be enthralled with my message. That they would be looking at me, making eye contact. They would be silent and they would just listen to what I was saying.
Probably taking notes.
Well, mentally.
Or maybe a lot of people nowadays be like, can I record this? Can I record it? That they can
Yeah.
go back to it, which I
Yeah.
think is
So
smart.
I think that what would make that change is if I also led by example.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm out here saying, yo guys, don't rob, don't do this, you in the hood. If you was to channel that intellect into a trade, you would dominate society. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why are you still doing shit like that in the hood? Don't you know that that's beneath you? You're so intelligent. You could what? You could do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Investing in this criminality. If you invested that type of energy, channeling that into a trade,
Mm-hmm.
going to school for something like that, you're making legitimate money now. If they see, if I would tell them to not do that, and then meanwhile I'm doing fucked up shit, and they know,
Mm-hmm.
it would
You
make
lose your
them relapse.
credibility.
I would
Yeah.
lose my credibility, like you said.
Yeah.
So I would have to lead by example. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't tell them, yeah, man, don't fuck with hoes. And then next thing you know, I'm always taking pictures with them.
Yeah. It's like being a
Like,
hypocrite.
clearly you could see, and I'm like, oh yeah, they belong to me. And they belong to me, and they're clearly hoes. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm over here like, yeah, it's cool if you pay for sex. It ain't nothing. The athletes do it. It ain't nothing. It don't make you a simp. Women respect resources and money. That's dominance. Yo, like, if I'm doing that, but then I'm talking about don't do that, it's not gonna. They gotta respect me.
It's being
If
a
they
hypocrite.
respect me of seeing how I'm leading by example,
Yeah.
then they'll trust what I'm saying, and then
Yes.
then eventually they'll do it.
I think that goes for anything. As
You
a
know, so
parent with with your
so
children and everything.
I think today a lot of the younger males don't really have
The
prominent leadership
I agree.
to follow. Like, not even just that, like respect of
Mhm.
men today
Yeah.
and trust, you know what I mean, for them to follow. Like, I think that's the problem too. Like, there's a
Definitely.
lack of masculinity.
Definitely.
So with that lack of masculinity, you just have no choice but to just follow and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
It's very hard for them, like today, the guys today, to really have these old school values and be strict on them because they're foreign to them. Man of my word. I mean, can I just like do this shit sometimes?
Mm.
Like, why we gotta put a term to it? Man of your word.
Yeah,
You
that's
know what I'm saying?
crazy to me.
Like discipline. Like, why? Like,
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I
I don't
remember.
I don't want to put this shit for myself. I don't put certain goals for myself and then hold myself accountable.
Yeah.
Like, the summary about this is a lot of young males today don't hold themselves accountable and they don't know how to. So when you
Mhm.
incorporate these principles and these boundaries, that's holding yourself accountable. I could be attracted to this specific OnlyFans chick or whatever it is, physically, sexually attracted to her, but I hold myself accountable. I know that, yeah, visually, okay, you look cool. I looked at you for a couple of seconds and then I kept going. I kept scrolling
Mhm.
because that's the discipline part. That's me holding myself accountable because I know, like, it's like, yo, I'm into Japanese sports cars. Always been. I'm not gonna go get a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or a McLaren and stuff like that. I could probably afford it, but I'm not going to because I'm looking at it like, yo, I'll drive one. Like, I'll go to the car show, they look nice, but I'm not having that as a daily driver because I might as well get the warranty and shit because I'm gonna be in the dealership every month. That gotta stay in the garage. It can't be a daily driver. It's not built to be driven every day. You're gonna have my problems. BMWs and shit. Maybe not the new BMWs, but the old ones. All them German cars, Mercedes, Audis. I don't like them. I don't like them. They look nice, but you ain't never gonna see me with them.
Mhm.
Because they gonna have problems. The parts are expensive, and even if I got the bread for the shit that I need, I want to spend as little as possible. There's certain apps I won't buy, and this should be $9.99. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm frugal.
Mm.
But when I drop that, I drop that. I'll take the whole team out, family, I'll drop that. Get bottles, whatever. The cost don't matter. And I don't even have to drink. So I'll spend it where it matters, but it's like that with the chick. It's like, yo, like she look good and everything, but I'm looking at after I fuck, am I gonna like her? She don't fight rules. She gonna disrespect me eventually. Cause I'm gonna restrict this. I'm gonna tell her stop doing that. My women don't be like that. Or whatever. She gonna grow resentment. That resentment is gonna grow into disrespect. I'm 5 steps ahead. I'm playing chess. So as I'm looking at her for that 2 seconds, my brain is running at 100 miles per hour, thinking of all these things, and then I keep moving. So that's why I'm telling the guys: if you're gonna assume just a little bit, assume, don't resume, don't continue, don't pursue. You know what I'm saying? Because you looking at your boundaries, you're looking at long term, you're looking at what it is. And me personally, it could be detrimental. Not the regular dude, because my shit is good. Pause. So if I give it to her, I might create a crazy person.
Like a
Crazy, a monster. Where point like she ain't never had that before. She couldn't handle it. So now she finding out where I work, showing up there. Or you ain't pick up the phone, nigga. Like, why are you showing up to my place of business causing hell? Like there's clients here. Like you're embarrassing me and my team. Like this is embarrassing. Like now you gotta take her outside and reprimand her and don't ever come here with it. Like, yo, that's insane. Yo, you didn't even tell me you was coming. You just showed up. Stalker type shit now. Violating, showing up to your crib unannounced, ringing the doorbell like crazy. Yo, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to sleep. So now I'm thinking of that regard too. So oftentimes these young dudes don't do that. They don't go off logic. They go off emotion. So they getting horny or whatever. Shit, she's giving me attention. I never thought she out of my league. That's the catalyst to making them want to jump on and resume that. But I'm telling them like, and you want to get with somebody so you can value them. It feels good to know that they're loyal, they're submissive, they appreciate you, and they're there for the right reasons, and you could count on them. Those women are reliable. You know what I'm saying? It feels good as a man to have 1, 2, 3 women like that. Oftentimes these dudes don't really feel confident, they don't feel good. You know what I'm saying? Because they're with women that don't really respect them.
That don't bring that out in
And
them.
they don't know how to identify. So I think that, they need to talk to like different types of guys that are different from them. You know what I'm saying? More confident than them, more established with women, have more success with women.
More experience, maybe.
Quality women I'm talking about. Like let me put more context and shit like that and expound. Because you could have all these chicks that look good or whatever it is, and it's like you're just going off, damn, he has beautiful women around him, but you don't know those women. You don't know them. Like I could get him too. Like he ain't special.
Right,
You might have to
but
pay,
even
but I could get them too. So they're not special, man.
but even not quality women, the guy can give him, advice on that. Like, yeah, she's beautiful, but she has this, and this going against her. Like, she treats me bad. She treated me bad at one point, but there's her beauty is this, but then her personality is shit. Like, you could still teach somebody from that or learn.
Most males don't go out there disqualifying women. That's the problem. So
Yeah.
women naturally will go out there and disqualify men. Oh, you're not tall enough. Oh, you don't have a beard. Oh, you don't have muscles and tattoos. Oh, you don't have nice shoes. You're not wearing Jordans. Oh, your car looks ugly. You don't have a good job. You don't make 6 figures. You like whatever their preferences are. You're not black. You're not Chinese. You're not white. Whatever it is, right? Um, they're going out just disqualifying them. Men don't go out disqualifying women. Like if I go to the bar and I'm trying to socialize, but then that place is like a lounge, and it's like, oh, she's twerking in the middle of the thing. She look good or whatever, but oh, that's a strike already.
I think most men disqualify on like the physical appearance more than anything.
Most men disqualify
Women,
women
yeah.
on the physical.
Yeah, like, well, she's not like she's fat or she's not pretty. Like on those things. Whereas a woman will be like height or body type, or they
Mm,
find out what you do for a living. Oh, no, thank you. Or you know what I'm saying, how you're dressed.
mm.
A man will overlook that, but if she's not to hit her like the form that he likes, then I think that's about the only thing that he would
Mm.
disqualify for.
I think you're right. You're right because
Everything
that
else,
that
no.
has to be the
Yeah,
that has to be the prerequisite
yeah.
for
You're
the
right. You have to be attracted.
yeah.
Exactly. If they're not attracted to them, then they're not gonna do it.
But I think attraction is both because like but it's different.
You
So
mean both for
you
men and
might
women?
yeah, so you might say beauty for the man and the woman might be status, might be
Mm-hmm.
maybe material. I'm naming different types of women. Might be the height, might be the skin color, might be the tattoos, muscles,
So many
might
things.
be the way you talk
Yeah.
to them, your vocabulary, might be how you make them feel. So like they both got like initial attractions.
Mm-hmm.
It just is different. I don't think like beauty is the first thing for women. Like, oh, he's handsome, so I'm gonna let him talk to me or approach him or give him signs to come up to. Like, I don't think that's the thing for women. Cause I've seen women with pause, some
Ugly guys.
yeah,
Me
you
too.
know what I'm saying, fat, overweight, and they're like the women is completely opposite.
I think when
Um,
women see a good-looking man, they just automatically think he's a whore. He has sex with many women. Like it's almost like, damn, he's hot. There's something wrong with him.
the irony is too like most women, not all of them, gravitate towards that
Yeah,
still,
yeah.
but you're right. There's something wrong with them, right?
He's
Uh,
probably married. He got a girl. He got many girls.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Do you believe men don't value their women today because they don't believe he's her one and only due to social spaces? I think that if we're talking about young men, I think if you are in a relationship and you don't think that you're the one and only, and you don't know what your next move is, I think that you should first and foremost, try to find some sort of guidance, whether that be trusting in another man that you can confide in, whether it be somebody at work, somebody in school, an older brother, an older cousin, something like that, to talk about it. There's no shame in saying, listen, this is what's going on and I don't know how to handle it. They're there to help you. Look for that help, especially if you're confused about how to go about things. you know um, Go online, try to find podcasts. When you look up on social media, try to find podcasts or things that talk about what it is that you're going through, whatever it is, whatever situation you're in. I would definitely say try to get some sort of guidance in that. And while you're doing that, because that's not a 1 2 3, you're not going to type it in and find the answers there, but work on yourself, work on what's important to you. Make, if you're in a bad relationship, make a list of what's the pros of staying in this relationship and what's the cons. You know what I mean? That is your inner voice telling you. If you can make that list and there's a lot more cons to it, that's your higher self telling you, look at your own handwriting, look at where there's more negatives. Is there more negatives or is there more positives? you know um and if you come from that type of an environment, um where you've seen that before and you didn't like it, that also is a catalyst for you to make that change. That's your own body giving you signs and hints that this isn't for you. If you have to constantly be worrying, wondering, is she talking to somebody else? Is she texting somebody else? Is she flirting with somebody else or anything like that? That doesn't serve any purpose for you. It doesn't serve your mental peace. It doesn't serve your confidence. Um, it all it's gonna do is bring more issues to the problem. But now, if you bring it up to your significant other, and they're willing to, all right, let's go to therapy or work on it or talk about an issue. All right, I still would say talk to your big homies or your uncles, your dad, coworker, whatever it is, um, and see. And if it also comes down to it where you just don't have those types of males around that can help, you know, therapy does wonderful things. And I know that it's or rather it used to be very taboo. It's more acceptable. It's more open now, and I think that that can really help.
Um, so I think what can help is stating boundaries. So most males don't know how to state boundaries,
Exactly.
and I think it's also because where they are in society. So I think most men get their confidence from accomplishments, and if they feel like I ain't shit, I ain't where I need to be, how can I go in a dynamic and start stating things? So they
Mm.
don't believe that they're like dominant enough or it will work in their favor. Um Now me, I always approach like this even without like like consequences are not even in my mind. Like I'm not thinking, well, damn, if I enter like this, will she run away? Will she yell? Will she get aggressive? Like I don't care what happens. I don't care a potential conflict. So I always go in authentic. That's what I care about. So um so me, I'm always gonna state it with whomever. Don't matter who it is. Nobody gets the dominant. Like these girls get the dominant, and then these girls get the different side.
Hmm.
Knowing yourself is paramount.
Hmm.
And me, I'm gonna give them an example because the urges thing I was talking about. This. I'm gonna give you an example for me, so maybe they can understand. When I look at a woman and I didn't build anything with her yet, and I'm gonna give more context. Conversation, getting to know her. Um, I want her to stroke my mind as well. She's showing me certain personalities that touch my love language. If I didn't build anything and I have a one night stand with her right off the bat, I know myself. This is why I'm saying for them to know themselves. It goes back full circle. I know about male nature. When we're done, pause. We're done. Some of us
Why
won't
is that
go. Some
pause?
of us won't go a second round. Some of us won't come back. So if I know that I didn't build anything with her, and I have a one night stand, I'm not gonna value her. I'm not gonna respect her. I'm not gonna trust her. And it's gonna be done. I'm not gonna be interested, so I'm not gonna value the sex.
Mm.
So if I know that that's gonna happen, that's another thing too why I will keep scrolling, why I will keep walking, why I will not resume, why I will not pursue, court, whatever, or stop courting. Maybe I started. So I think they should learn how to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Eradicate the woman's vagina from your mind and go into there of like trying to get into what her character is first. The vagina is the bonus. You know what I'm saying? So get into the character first and then knowing yourself. Think to yourself, yo, if I spend time with this bitch all day, is she gonna get on my nerves? Because if she does, I don't know how that's gonna be long term because I always feel like how you start is how you end. So if it's very hard and rare that things change in the middle. That's a special man that comes in to do that. Because women are following men, even if they come in being dominant.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's very rare. It takes a special man. It can be done, but It takes a special man for the way they started for it to change in the end or in the middle. So I would tell them to like learn themselves, learn what they like and what they don't like, their fetishes and kinks, and don't allow those fetishes and kinks to control you. That's part of being a dominant. So don't let those things control you. You control them. You could be turned on, but you engage when you want. You know what I'm saying? The moment you can or you're losing control and she's able to do that, that's very dangerous because down the line when shit hits the fan, that will be used for a lack of accountability. And you're going to let that slide even though you came in firm. So when you don't control these things, you'll always be in control. That's the biggest thing about a man being in control of himself first. Because if he can't dominate himself, he can't dominate other people. Like, how can you control lives, change lives, save lives, when you couldn't even save your own life? You couldn't even change your own life. You couldn't even dominate your own life, control your own life. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it starts, the fundamentals of learning. Like, these guys can change. They can go into some type of boot camp and shit, like metaphorically, not a real boot camp, but they could do self-evaluations, talk to certain people, myself, other male coaches out there who are really like about their word and they practice what they preach, not those phonies. Do as I say, not what I do. No, not them. But that's another thing too with a lot of these people, like the social influencers being exposed. That's bringing a lot of non-respect. You know what I'm saying? For the younger guys. So the consistent guys, they need to go see, and they need to learn that. I think one of the biggest thing that the first thing they need to work on, the younger guys, is building a sense of being a man of your word. And then the other principles will come, like incorporate other boundaries and stay strict to those no matter what. And they got to see the benefit of it. That's the biggest thing. If they don't see the benefit of it, what I'm saying goes in one ear and out the other. They got to see the benefit of it for it to go into one ear and stay stuck in their brain and not go out the other ear. That's the only way they got to be able to see it. They got to see the benefit of it. Um, I'm telling them right now that them engaging with those type of women, or females, they're not gonna get benefit, but they can't see the future. Like I could see the future, literally and figuratively. Sometimes in my dreams, the ancestors. Excuse me. So they they gotta get more in tune. Maybe find God. And then that will make them use proper discernment. And when they use proper discernment, they'll choose right. They'll choose better on who to pursue and whatnot. I think the woman chooses for you to allow her, and then you pursue. Like guys could pursue all day, but then if you're using proper discernment, the man is using process of elimination. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, bum bum bum. 3 here, potential. Boom, boom. Like he's using proper discernment in that regard. Like he knows based off where he wants to go, his legacy, who he is, and his identity. And he structured all those principles, discipline, and boundaries with his identity. You know what I'm saying? So if people are violating that, especially the woman, she's violating him. And that's how they need to think. And you know, I think for me and these other guys, they go in establishing respect and trust. Like, yo, you you gonna respect me. You know what I'm saying? And they think they establish that. But I think the young guys don't even know what that word means. So they don't go in there of doing that. And they also don't carry themselves like they want to be respected. They talk to themselves down. They don't speak power to themselves. They don't do powerful things. They don't engage in powerful activity. They're not going in there leading, teaching her things. maneuvering, you know, just bringing law and getting into their masculine energy. So I think that plays a factor too, because the woman is not always looking at what you're saying. Like that's about like 15%. The 85%, she's looking at what you're doing. And then that's gonna dictate, oh, is his actions matching his words? You know
That's
what I'm
so
saying?
true.
Like that's what it is. And even the woman is keeping into documentation. So if you're not serious, there's no, like, she doesn't see a reason to be too. You know, so you gotta lead first. And that, see, this goes back to men leading. Even the woman could be a dominant woman and he could be the beta. She following him, he a bozo, so she's doing bozo shit out
Mm-hmm.
here. But if she's a dominant woman, whatever it is, and he's coming in and setting the law, eventually she gonna get into her nature, because she's following. It's unspoken. She's looking at his actions just like a child. Like I used to watch my late grandfather tie a tie, and I was like, I want to learn how to do that. And he taught me how to tie a tie at 11. Now I'm a master at knots. And it's like I saw what he was doing, and I want to do it. And that's how the woman is seeing too. She'll hear something, but then she'll see what you're doing, see your
Mm-hmm.
actions, see how you carry yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then she's gonna eventually get on board, or she's gonna run away, because she's gonna see, oh, he's consistent. I can't break him. Even my love is not gonna do it. And when he loves me, because I was hoping if he falls in love with me, then he'll change. I'll be special. He'll break all his rules. But damn, even him loving me, he's not doing it. So if one of things happen, she either adjusts or she runs away. You know, so it starts with the man. I'll always say that because it's true. It's God's plan, and that's how it will always be to the end of time. You know, so the woman's always following, even if it's not like verbal. Like, I will follow you. I will be submissive to you. Her saying to him, she's following with her actions, words, whatever. You know what I'm saying? What she does. You know, if she see that he don't carry himself right, he a bozo, whatever it is, goes back full circle, which is why she's online with her booty, because she knows she's with the simp. But I don't know men like me that their women are like that. That's I've never seen it. Never. And if I have, that guy's fraudulent. 100% fraudulent. You know, he could look like the part, but internally he ain't. Like, what do they say? Sheep, wolf clothing?
A wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah, it's like that. 100%. You know.
I agree.
So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, you're tuned into the most raw, uncut, unapologetic, real. Only, I think, one more episode left.
Dag, wait, I wanted to ask you a question before we ended it like that. You have your information on the coaching underneath also, just in case. Okay,
Yeah.
just for everybody else who needs or knows somebody that might need his help in that area. All the information's below.
Book a session, call,
Yeah.
Zoom, in
My
person,
bad.
everything.
My mind was wandering when you started saying it. Go.
Link is in the bio, social medias as well. The most exhilarating, unheralded but soon to be heralded, real, uncut, no holds barred podcast, the Dispensary Podcast. Peace.
Peace.